This is IGN. A Nintendo Switch exclusive, Rhythm Heaven Groove, is getting a summer release date, seemingly backing up a major leak. Welcome to your IGN Daily Update. But first, the use of generative AI in games is one of the hottest topics in the industry right now. And a couple of weeks ago, the biggest game of the year so far, Crimson Desert, found itself at the center of it after some in-game paintings were discovered to have been created using the technology. It led to a swift apology from developer Pearl Abyss, who claimed that AI-generated assets were, quote, unintentionally included in the final release, and admitted it should have disclosed the use of AI to players. We sincerely apologize for these oversights, the Korean company added. It's Steam's policy for games to clearly declare on their store pages if generative AI has been used to make them, but it is by no means against the rules to use these tools in the development process. So, should studios feel the need to apologize for using such technology? It's a question IGN recently asked fellow Korean developer and head of PUBG Studios, Tae-seok Jang. It's a bit of a tricky question, says Jang, but what I can tell you now is I'm currently studying and monitoring the situation and industry's AI usage cases. Is this kind of situation happening only in the gaming industry, or is it relevant in the art industry or other industries as well? So, actually, as a fan, it doesn't matter to me. Because if they make good gameplay, then it doesn't matter to me if they use AI for artwork. Maybe it could be different from the perspective of developers or investors. But yeah, I cannot tell you the exact answer about it because I'm currently learning and studying the case. So it would seem that PUBG Studios values the craft of designing gameplay more than the human touch of in-game artwork then. And some more PUBG news. Ever since pioneering the genre and the subsequent rise of Fortnite, Battle Royale has been the dominant shooter mode of choice online. But now, the emergence of the extraction shooter as a mainstream concern, namely the popularity of arc raiders, threatens to take that crown. For nearly a decade, players have been going head-to-head to be the last standing, and while other genre contenders such as the hero shooter have had their successes, Battle Royale remains the most popular, whether that be Battlegrounds, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, or Apex Legends. But that won't last forever, and is something Tae-seok Jang, again that's the head of PUBG Studios, is very aware of. Hence, the developer is already branching out the player-unknown experience into other formats. The most notable of these is the currently in development Black Budget, the Korean studio's venture into the extraction shooter market. I believe in its potential, so that's why we are making Black Budget, Jang explains in an interview with IGN when asked if extraction shooters could ever overtake battle royales. The genre itself is very complicated compared to shooter genres in terms of gameplay, and also, as a developer, it is not easy to make a good extraction shooter, but I think Arc Raiders has proven that it has huge potential. We've got plenty more on PUBG, and you can find it all right now at IGN.com. Nintendo has revealed a release date for Rhythm Heaven Groove, which will debut on Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 this summer. The game's launch date, July 2nd, backs up the recent major leak that laid out Nintendo's slate of games for the rest of 2026. Most notably, that leak included mention of an unannounced The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time port due to arrive this Christmas, as well as a new Star Fox game due sooner, set to be announced at some point this month. Intriguingly, the leak also mentioned that Rhythm Heaven Groove would be given a summer release, something that has now been proven accurate. The latest entry in Nintendo's long-running Rhythm Heaven series, Groove was first announced all the way back in March 2025, during last spring's big Nintendo Direct. It's the fifth entry in the offbeat musical franchise, and will be the first in over a decade, since Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix for the 3DS. The trailer, released via the Nintendo Today app and social media, shows a mini-game where a character chops vegetables and catches extra ingredients while bopping along to a catchy beat. A cat sits nearby, watching. Fans have spotted that this is the same mini-game which appeared in last year's early look at the game, albeit now with different visuals that are far more akin to the cartoony look of past Rhythm Heaven games. That's your IGN Daily Update. My name is Tony Jackson, and if you want more news on your favorite games and entertainment topics, make sure to visit us at IGN.com. You can also download our free app on your phone or console and subscribe to our weekly podcasts through the podcast service of your choice.
Spoken Layer.